Hello and welcome to Radiant Station. In today's episode, we are going to be modeling two different types of bus stations this time, and we will not be using the Fluent add-on. Of course, we'll be using in our commercial building assets, which you can see here, to make this bus station buildings, and the platform is simple and straightforward. You do not need an add-on for this, but the buses that you see, we will be modeling it using a reference image and then just duplicating them and filling up our scenes. Now, of course, that's the building that I've used for my commercial buildings tutorial. I'll be building the building part of the bus station. I believe I'll be going in with 5 or 4 still 4 buildings, of course fixing up any shading issues that we might have. Since I have not joined these objects, in which case you can use the array modifier, I'm going to keep them as separate objects. Of course, I'm going to delete off some of the entrances. I'm going to stick to 3 entrances. Let's zoom in and select the objects that we need to delete. Delete those off separately as well as this one. That's what I'm looking for. Now adding in text, simple as that. Just putting in gate 1, and of course this will not have any thickness, which is why I'm going to add in the solidify modifier to add in thickness required, because that gives a depth. And of course with the shading effect through when the light falls onto it, gonna bring it up a little bit in the front and going to add in that solidify modifier which I just spoke about. I'm going to increase the thickness to something about this. See, without thickness, that's how it was initially. That's the one that I'm going to go for. Now, as simple as that, I'm just going to write in bus station for the top part and going to write the gates. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this and make a smaller bus station for our towns, because the one that we've just modeled is going to be placed in the city or cities, depending on how we go about modeling our low poly city or low poly world. Actually, there you have our bus stations already. Now we'll be bringing in our reference images, which you can get from Google, the ones that you like. Make sure that it has at least 3 profiles so that you can follow along and build in different viewports with different angles, actually, front, side, and the top view. Now we're just adding in the cuts by using K, which is the knife options. Now, of course, bringing in a simple cube. Now making in doors. At times, just adding in multiple objects makes your modeling very neat. That's the idea I'm going to be going about when I'll be modeling the windows and the doors that you see. And of course, I'm only doing it on one side, which is why I'm going to join all of these objects and in the end going to mirror them on the other side. Of course, I will be ignoring some of the details. Will not be going identical to it. I'm going to be adding in a loop cut in the very center. Just now we are adding in the wheels. This is going to be using by the bool tool option. I'm going to cut that out from my model, and now I'm going to make in tires, which are of course going to be more round, something of this sort. Just going into edit mode, selecting the faces, extrude with the E, then scale it down and just making some slight variations. Of course, this is one method, which is basically getting a reference image in the background and making sure that the alignments and the frame matches the image. Now we're going in for the back. Of course, make sure that we do not make any additional cuts for the front, since the front and the back are totally different in the design. Now you can see we almost have our bus, which is coming into its final shape. Now we're adding in that central loop cut, which I wanted, so that I can delete off the other part by selecting in all those vertices and gonna mirror them on the other side. But for now, the doors and the windows, I have not joined them and I did not add the mirror modifier. Just selecting some shapes and extruding them out, giving it an extra detail, adding in double tires, which is not part of, I believe, yes, it is double tires. Of course, you can go in adding in with your adjustments. You only need to follow the outline so that the proportions don't look too off. We're adding in the tail lights. It's going to be the number plate. These are the front lights or the headlights. Gonna make them slightly squarish. Select those vertices and bring them up in the z-axis. That's going to be our fog lights. Of course, I'm going to mirror these all details once they're all done. Selecting those, inset and extrude, inset and extrude, bring them inside. Now we've joined all of these, mirrored them on the other side, and our bus is looking like a great bus. Now of course I'm adding in the side mirrors. Starting off with a simple cube. Just beveling the edges. Not overdoing it. Adding in a loop cut, deleting that part off, and closing all these with selecting the edges, and with the F key, inserting a face. I'm gonna mirror this off there, and our bus is ready. There you have it, our bus station. Of course, the platform is straightforward. It's just a simple cube. Make it into a platform, or of course keep the bus next to it so you can understand what scale you want to go for. And as simple as that, just making those pillars and the shade for the top. That's for the big city bus stop, and the other one is for our towns. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Toodles.